so today I'm gonna show you two of my favorite ways to make tofu. One is in the air fryer, and then obviously frying the tofu. Oh, and I'm also gonna pan fry it. Pan fry it? Yeah, saute it, whatever. But I wanna show you my favorite types of tofu. So I get only tofu from Trader Joe's. I get most of my like soy-based protein stuff from Trader Joe's. There's only two types of tofu I'll buy. This one is the high protein organic tofu, the super firm tofu. It comes in like a vacuum sealed package with a little bit of water. This is the best tofu out there, don't come at me. I mean, this one has 14 grams of protein, 130 calories per serving versus the other tofu I get, the organic tofu. This one is only 6 grams of protein. Each serving is about 60 calories. The reason why this one is my favorite out of all the tofus out there, first, the flavor and the texture is on point, but also I don't have to squeeze this one. I don't have to press tofu, and the thing is, I don't have time to press tofu. You know, who has time for any of that? And this one, all I do is I open it and I let the excess out, and then maybe just quickly take a little bit of the extra moisture off with a towel, but I'm not squishing it because this is so firm already. So that's why I love this. Pretty much this tofu is the one I use for everything. This tofu though is what I'll use when I'm trying to use like silken tofu. Say for example when I'm making seitan and I need like a silken tofu, or baking, or I want to make like a tofu smoothie bowl or something. I need a soft tofu. This tofu though, you do need to press, but I hate pressing tofu. Like, who presses tofu? Like, if you're sitting out there with your tofu and putting like cans of beans on it and all types of crazy stuff, like, you're wasting your time. Go out and get yourself a bunch of this tofu. You don't have to press it. It's ready to go. This is the best tofu out there. Today I'm going to be showing different ways to make this tofu. Yeah, let's get to it. Okay, it is so hot. And see, it comes out in this really super firm block. There's almost no liquid in here. So this is how one of the ways I used to make my tofu all the time for work. But I'm gonna use half a block of tofu. So I'm just cut it into quarters, and then I'll cut it into 3 slices. Okay, so once you have your slabs, really it's up to you however you wanna season them. And the thing about tofu is it's gonna take the flavor of whatever you season it with. So, I mean, it's a blank slate. So recently I've been really liking this Cajun seasoning. To the first row, I'm gonna add the Cajun seasoning. And then I have this other mix of seasoning. It's basically like thyme, rosemary, I think a little bit of oregano. And add that to this other line here. And I'm also gonna add a little bit of onion powder to this bottom row. You can either put oil straight onto it, or if you want to keep it low on oil, just spray some of this stuff on it. So I'm gonna leave it probably like 3 minutes on each side. That's the other thing with tofu, is don't be scared to leave it on the pan. As long as you put a little bit of oil or something so that it won't burn, leave it on there, because you want it to get that golden kind of color. The more oil obviously you use, the more golden it's gonna get, but the point is, don't move it around. Once you put it on the pan, leave it, because if you keep moving it, you're gonna take all the seasonings off of it. So I'm gonna just let this guy chill, and then I'll show you when I flip them. Because I'm not using a lot of oil, I'm gonna spray the top part of these with oil just a little bit before I flip them all. Oh yeah, just a little bit more spray. Okay, yum, these are done. So I'm just gonna take them out and let them cool off. So the way I would eat these is I would just chop them up into little pieces and throw them in a salad, a quinoa salad, a lentil salad, a regular salad. Chop them up, throw them in there, and then, or you know, you can eat these cold, you can eat these warm, whatever, it's tofu, it doesn't matter. But yeah, this was one of my staples for when I used to go into the office before, you know, quarantine. got the tofu slabs. I made some asparagus and I did like a lentil, mushroom, tomato, spinach mixture. Pretty easy way to make tofu. Okay, I'm gonna fry the tofu 2 different ways. I'm gonna pan fry it in oil and then I'm gonna air fry it in my air fryer. Use some canola oil, enough to coat the bottom. Okay, so I have half a block of tofu here. I'm going to deep fry one, air fry the other. So for this one, I'm just gonna cut it in half. I'm just gonna add some soy sauce to it, just enough to coat them. Then cornstarch. This is the magic ingredient that's gonna make him crispy, whether you're gonna fry him in oil or you're gonna put him in the air fryer. I'm gonna add maybe like a teaspoon, 2 teaspoons at most. And mix this up. If you're gonna fry them in oil, you can add more cornstarch because they'll get crispier. If you're gonna air fry them, I don't recommend adding that much cornstarch because they don't, I don't know, the coating doesn't, it gets really thick. Okay, so here's my air fryer. I just leave it to the highest setting, which is 400. Got about half of those in there, but before I do that, I'm gonna spray some canola oil and then just toss them. Throw this in here for about 10 minutes and then flip them halfway and do another 10 minutes. So another of my favorite ways to make tofu in the air fryer is to do soy sauce, a little bit of soy sauce, same way, but instead of cornstarch, I'll do nutritional yeast. And just like, I don't know, maybe 2 tablespoons of that, and then same time, maybe like 15 minutes in the air fryer and flip them halfways. And they get super crunchy and I just throw them on salads or in wraps or whatever. That's another great way to put the tofu in the air fryer. But also, if you don't have an air fryer, like, what are you, I don't know what to tell you, get an air fryer. It's just the best thing ever. It makes things super crunchy in half the time. Okay, so the remaining tofu, I'm just gonna add a little bit more cornstarch to them because these are the ones we're gonna deep fry, not deep fry, but pan fry. Your oil's hot enough. You can go ahead and add this. Be careful because it could splash on you. So at this point, you want to make sure none of them are touching because the cornstarch, it like bonds them. So kind of separate them all out so they're not really touching. You'll see it's ready to start flipping once the edges start getting a little golden brown. These are getting nice and crispy. So just keep turning them around. You want to make sure they're golden on all sides. Okay, these are pretty much done, so I'm just going to take them out and put them on a plate with paper towel just to let some of that excess oil drain. These are done. I'm going to take them out. They're not going to be too crispy on the first time around, but you're going to come in here and flip them. And then I'm going to spray them a little bit more. Toss them again. Put them back in here for another like 5-10 minutes. Okay, these are done. These are nice and crispy. Hear that? So then that same pan, I already took the oil out. I'm gonna add the fried tofu in. Ooh. And then whatever sauce you like. I got this one from Target, this Mongolian garlic sauce. This one's really good. I don't know, maybe like 2 or 3 tablespoons. Just let the sauce thicken up a bit, and then I'm gonna take these out and add the air fried tofu in here. Okay, now it's time for the air fried tofu. Yum. And there you go. Here's my air fried tofu. A little bit less oil. The oil fried tofu. So as you can tell, there's a bunch of different ways to make tofu. They're pretty simple, pretty easy. Tofu is not a scary thing. Just help yourself out and get that super firm tofu if you can find it. Trader Joe's, that's where it's at. Tofu is really forgiving. It takes the flavor of however you season it. You can make a marinade for it. You can just season it like I did with like dry seasonings. Pop it in the air fryer, fry it, whatever. It's good in soup, it's good in smoothie bowls, it's good in anything and everything. Tofu, gotta love it. Bye.